that was our rival school, and that was our school spirit. We have a wonderful time. Good evening. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come speak, fellowship, and reunion with my fellow alums of Atari County Training School. Before I talk to my 50-year reunion classmates, I have one question for everyone in the room. Why is it we think or feel our face look younger than it does when we look in the mirror? I don't know about you, but I have reached the age that the words happy hour is when I take an hour nap. Ottawa County Training School. Ottawa County Training School. Notice the name, Training School. The name was a sign of the times when it was thought that colored people could not learn like other individuals. They had to be trained like animals. Years ago, as a young student, I would have told you that a great teacher was someone who provided classroom entertainment and gave very little homework. After many years of teaching dental students, I have come to realize Ottawa County Training School prepared me for college and professional school, and was far more than a place of instruction and homework, but was also an instruction of moral development, character and confidence building to meet the future challenges that were ahead of me. We had outstanding teachers, maybe because of our proximity to Alabama State University. I don't know. We had fantastic teachers. Ottawa County School teachers and staff knew for us to move out and beyond our surroundings, we had to be well educated. Yes. That meant providing us a strong foundation in reading, writing, and arithmetic, known as math. Our teachers had high expectations for each of us and direct access to every parent. They respected the students as a child, but more importantly, they demanded respect from every student. And the teachers made us feel very safe in the classroom. In this small community, there were jobs and rules to follow by each of us. If my daddy came to school, it would be to beat my behind and not the teachers. They set high expectations. They knew that we would give as much as we expected, as much as they expected, or give as little as they expected. They had a love for learning, and they wanted to see the students they were teaching succeed in their professional, their personal home, and community life. They knew education was the key to creating a total person. How many times did we hear, you have to be better than? They maintained professionalism in all areas, from personal appearance to organizational skills and preparedness for each day. How many times you see teachers now and you don't know they're teachers? They had a real down-to-earth know-how. Folks, we were the first generation in American history to have an extended adolescence through pre-war optimism and through post-war growth. We invented the idea of what American high school is. We are the only people in history to live through the turmoils of Jim Crow law, Southern strategy, civil unrest, wars in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. In spite of this, there has never been a better time before or since in the history of mankind. In 1966, the stock market was 418 points. Today it's over 1,800 points. Had we invested $1,000 in the stock market in 1966, it would be worth $6,131,385 today. But $1,000 for us was like $100,000 for me it is today. We hold cotton. And I know I wasn't the only one. For $3 $8 a day. We peak cotton for $3 for 100 pounds. It was salad. My life has been a series of ups and downs, like every other person in this room. Some by choice, and others by cultural conditioning. In this culture, every black man and woman is undervalued, underestimated, and marginalized. I've heard it said, after 50 you get the face you deserve. After 60 you get the life you deserve. Maybe the one you wanted, but definitely the one you chose. Life at our age is the results of the choices we made, each one following from the one before. Now, if you were really lucky or really good, you look back on your life choices and you say, I'll make those choices again. If you were not so lucky, or if you're just not paying attention, there are consequences and eruptions in your life that make you wish your life was on video, so you can erase, back up, or replay. The world we live in is not the one we could have imagined in the 60s. I don't know if any of you were as hesitant as I was to adjust to the technological world. At one point, I was surprised when I had to pump my own gas. Now I'm annoyed if I can't pay at the pump. I moved from regular post office mail, snail mail, to email. And now I can't imagine how people keep in touch without it. I have to reach my children, grandchildren, and some of my friends by text because they have cell phones and they refuse to talk on. By texting, this technology has created, whether good or bad, a brand new abbreviated form of communication. Yes. And it's to our benefit, it behooves us to learn it. I have some examples here. For example, TTYL, talk to you later. BRB, be right back. PTM, play too much. I got these from my young patients just the other day. They told me this thing. I don't know them. WYD, what are you doing? WAY, where are you? YW, you're welcome. LMAO, math in my ass. Thank you. During those fabulous 60s, now labeled culture, the minimum wage was $1 per hour. That was considered good. That would average your income to about $4,000. But for colored folks, it was much less. Yeah. At that time, gas was 25 cents a gallon. Hostess was 5 cents. We dreamed of a man in the moon, but never a man on the moon. We described our music with numbers: 78s, 45s, 8-tracks, not letters, CDs, iPods, MP3, digital streaming. This technology is mind-boggling. I had robotic surgery last year, and really the surgeon could have performed it from a distant location. Another hospital, another country, on his bed. As long as the computer didn't have a virus, and the satellite was in orbit. We build cars, trains, and trucks with robots. By 2021, Ford has announced they will have autonomous cars with no steering. Check me on this stuff. I found out about preparing for this speech. Check me on this. They will have a car that has no steering by 2021. We travel 10 light years to Pluto with spaceship controlled by computers, not robots. Think about it. If that robot took a picture of Pluto today, it would take 10 years before we see the image. And light travel at the speed of 186,000 feet per second. That's a long way drive cars, we've already done it, from California to Vegas with no person aboard computers. There are hotels in Japan that have no humans on the ground except the visitors. They have robots and computers cutting the lawn, making the beds, giving out the tickets, and assigning the rooms and all. Amazon has contracted to build drones to deliver packages to your door. Here we are fighting wars in Syria with no boots on the ground. Drones dropping bombs, taking pictures, and distracting and planning the war. Interesting, I have a retired lieutenant, he's a colonel, a retired Marine colonel. I want you to look this up too. He went to war college. There were 365 people. He was selected as one of them. They had 16 from the Marine Corps. His thesis in war college was on drone evacuation in the war area. Look it up. His name is Drexel Hall. So he was a very pioneer. Now he told me that half of the class are now generals. But he's a black man. So what does he do? He teaches karate. A man was detained in Texas with robotic police. They are now developing mind clones that will be able to think for you. Robots will put prostitutes out of business. Working on that too, guys. The only problem is, I don't know if Viagra will develop to the point of enabling the biological system to step up to the task. While I prepared this speech, I was listening to XM radio station, and Ursula was singing, "Nobody Kissing Like Me."
We can't hear you.
The 60s music was different. We jammed with our AM radio stations to Whistle Picket, 635-789, Mustang 7, and the midnight hours. Reach Out, I'll Be There, the Four Tops, Marvin Gaye, and Tammy Terrell. You're all I need to get by. The Supremes, keep me hanging on, and you get her in love. The Beatles, twist and shout. Aretha Franklin, you make me feel like a natural woman. And Change of Food. B.B. King, the thrill is gone. James Brown, I got you, I feel good, and it's a man's world. Stevie Woman, uptight, everything's all right, and for once in my life, Ray Charles. Georgia, my mind, what I say. Temptation, my girl, the oldest rhythm sitting on the document. I looked this up. There were 100 hit songs in 1966. 100. I picked out the ones that we jammed to Shirley Norton back in Dallas State out there. The gospel music of the 60s was songs like Touch the Hem of the Garment by Sam Cooke, Oh Happy Day, Shine on Me by the Davis Sisters, I Got Jesus and That's Enough by Dr. Love Coates, On My Way to Heaven, and This May Be the Last Time by the Staples Singers. You Got to Move by the Blind Boys of Alabama, Something Got a Hold on Me, and Peace Be Still by James Cleveland. Mary, Don't You Weep, Still Away, How I Got Over, Lord, Don't Move This Mountain, Just Give Me the Strength to Climb. 1960 Civil Rights Movement, sometimes referred to as the Afro-American Civil Rights Movement, encompassed social movements in the United States, whose goals were to end racial segregation and discrimination against Afro-Americans, and to secure legal recognition of full citizenship rights as enumerated in the Constitution and federal law. The leadership for this Afro-American was politicians, and the financial support was labor unions. The movement was characterized by major campaigns of civil resistance between 1955 and 1968. There were several protests. Examples of Montgomery bus to boycott movement, sit-ins in Selma, Montgomery to March, Selma to Montgomery to March. We even protested. You remember Benny running around the street saying, "We ain't gonna let old hang." And we said, "Cool it, Benny, because the police police is over there. You're going to beat us upside the head. Every time we go by the police, they go wing on that old hang, turn us around. We even went to private, did sit-ins and demonstrations and everything. I saw Benny too. Are you here, Benny Sanders? Okay. The 1964 Civil Rights Act was passed, which banned discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, employment practice, unequal application of voters registration, and racial segregation in schools and the workplace and public accommodation. It's hard talking to this thing right here, my mom. This they can hear me. This movement was pioneered, as you know, by a famous person, Martin Luther King. He was the most popular in the movement, but many people were killed in this movement. And as you know, the difference in a moment and a movement is sacrifice. As Baptists, we all know the sacrifice the Lord Jesus made for mankind. Casualties in life are the decisions you learn from the most. Think about your own life. Think back about that tough first decision, good or bad, for better or for worse, that shaped your life, that led you through, that made you who you are, that led you back here to us today. We go to class reunions for different reasons, to celebrate what we were and who we have become, to recognize that life is rich, complex, painful, and beautiful, to remind us that it doesn't matter who you were and what you become, but how you live with it and how you make others feel. We are the only people who knew you when you were not a father or mother. We are the only people who knew you when you didn't have a profession or a career. We are the ones who knew you when you were young, healthy, and full of life, with hope and expectations to go out and take the world. Our movement continues, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have to remind people that Black Lives Matter. Trump brought the skeleton that had not been fully buried. Recent lives lost at the hands of police, revisiting of the Confederate flag. Things have changed tremendously for Black people, but somehow things are still the same. We are still going through this thing of race. The racial question is like turning the light on at night and watching the roaches run to hide. Serendipitously, things have changed and yet remain the same. By 50, you get the face you deserve. By 60, you get the life you deserve. Yes, the life you deserve. And you become more and more like yourself with every passing decade. Aging does not change you. Aging distills you. And like the distillants, you get better with age. We know each other in a way that no one else in the world knows us. We know each other when we were not what we worked so hard to become. We are adults, but we will be forever grateful to a Target County Training School and its loving, accessible, enthusiastic, and caring teachers and staff and their dedication to education. For we know without the instruction and examples, we would have been unable to shape and flood to change our world and what it is today. We know with the help of a Target County Training School, we leave for our children, our grandchildren, and beyond a better society of human rights, economic affluence, and a determination to meet life challenges. I pray during our grandchildren and their children's school years, they too will encounter caring and dedicated teachers that would teach them reading, writing, and arithmetic, and the fourth R that we all learn, respect. We had 3 R's, but we had a 4th in the black school. It was reading, writing, arithmetic, and when my Alpha brother told us afternoon, don't forget respect. And convey a great idea of moral development. We want them to have character, confidence building, to meet future challenges. I pray that God continue to bless you, bless your lives and your families. I don't want to say I'll see the next 50 years, but I pray I will see you the next 10. Good night.